What's up, Grace Girls? Welcome to the Allow Yourself Grace podcast, where we focus on helping Black women change their lives by discarding negative thoughts, pivoting in the right direction, and shifting their mindset through cultivating a trauma free lifestyle. I'm your host, Courtney Christten, educator, content creator, life coach, counselor, and mental health enthusiast living in Houston, Texas. I created the Allow Yourself Grace podcast because I wanted to create a space for Black women to share their thoughts, feelings, and stories that make them who they are without fear of judgment. Allow Yourself Grace provides emotional support and encouragement within the Grace Girls community for women in need of non biased opinions from women other than family and friends. Personal development, self care, career, faith are among many of the topics we will discuss on this platform. Allow Yourself Grace podcast is here to encourage Black women to live unapologetically and thrive in being authentically who they are and were designed to be, an entire vibe. No topics are off limits. We will cover it all. Now, grab a notebook, pen, sit back, and enjoy the show. What's up? What's up, Grace Girls? Welcome back to another episode of the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Courtney Christten, and welcome to the Grace Girls community. If you have not already, if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you've hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop an episode. And also, too, make sure you guys start commenting below and let me know how you're enjoying the episodes. If you are listening in on your favorite podcasting platform, whether that be Apple, Spotify, I don't know, but make sure that you are following the podcast. Also, make sure that you leave a review, 5-star preferably, just so that I can move to the top of my category. And yeah, let's get into the episode. So, today we're going to talk about you trusting yourself more. Okay? Trusting yourself a little more. Today's quote is spend less time worrying about what could go wrong. Spend less time worrying about what could go wrong. And focus on what could go right. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time. Spend less time worrying about what could go wrong and focus on what could go right. Okay, let's get into the episode. What advantages does trusting yourself have? Let's think about that for a moment. What advantages does trusting yourself have? Okay, I'm going to get into the ones that I have here. Builds self-confidence. Guys, when you trust yourself, like you feel like I can make this happen. I got this. That's what it feels like when you really, really trust yourself. You have like the confidence of the world. I would say the most cockiest person in the world. I'm going to say confident because y'all know cocky and confident kind of go hand in hand. I think you need a little bit of both. But in order to be successful, I feel like you have to be confident. You just have to be. And that comes with just trusting yourself, trusting in your abilities, trusting in your skills, trusting in what you know you can do. Okay? Just go for it and know, like, already know from the beginning before you even start, like, I'm going to conquer this. That's what confidence is. It's just like, I got this. I'm owning this. I love who I am. I know I'm good at what I do. That's confidence. And trusting yourself just helps to build that. It helps you to be able to step out on faith without even thinking about it. Because it's like, I already know that I can do this. And when you lack confidence, you're kind of the opposite. You're more like timid. You're more like, that's because you don't really trust yourself to get the job done. You don't trust yourself to get it done. Trusting yourself can improve your self-esteem. It can improve your self-esteem. It can make you feel like really, really good about yourself. And it's like, because I've done something else, I know I can do this. And that comes over time, because I know there's tons of people who feel like they need people to be successful. And I just believe that that's not always true, because I'm so confident in my ability to get certain things done that I know I don't need anybody else to help me do them, because I have all the skills I need. And I think that comes with me trusting myself. Like, I know that I've been successful in certain areas before. So it's like, why can't I do it again? I can do it again. This is what I do. That's that confidence. That's that trust that I have in my ability to get it done, because I always get it done. And that comes with you just constantly proving to yourself that you have you. You have your own back before you're depending or relying on anybody else to have your back. When you trust yourself more, you just become more aware, you become even more successful than what you already are, because it's like, if I can do this, I can do that. And I'm going to keep saying that, because somebody needs to hear that all it's going to take for you to go to the next level is for you to trust in your abilities and to trust yourself. Better relationships. It helps you cultivate better relationships, healthier relationships. Be confident in what you bring to the table. You know, if you can't trust yourself, it's going to be hard for other people to trust you. Because most people, I know I'm like this, I can tell when you're really not being authentic, when you're probably going to be a little lackadaisical about getting things done. You're not really confident. It's like, you're not really sure. I mean, you do this, but do you really like do this, right? Because I think when you really like do this, like, this is what I do, I got this, it just becomes second nature to you. It's like, I'm in my element, I'm in my zone. I know I got this. Whereas, oh, well, I do it, but I'm scared, and, I'm nervous, I'm a little afraid. Like, you shouldn't be, if you feel like you have the skills that you need and you have the tools that you need and you trust you. Most people don't trust themselves because they haven't been around people who trust themselves, right? And that's what makes it hard for people to come into their lives and just be genuine people, and them really, really like accept them, because they don't trust them. And it's why? Because you don't trust yourself. You haven't been dependable. You've let yourself down. Like, all these things have occurred. And now when someone comes into your life that's authentic and they want to treat you well and they're actually genuine and they actually want to be your friend, it's hard for you to accept. You ever been around someone that it's really, really hard for them to accept good things? Like, they're gonna find the bad. Like, if it's something good, they're gonna find something to complain about. If it's something good, they're gonna find something wrong. Those people, to me, you're trying to like deflect, and you want to look at everybody else's flaws or everything else that's going wrong, but you don't want to take a moment to like look within. You don't want to look at you. You don't want to look at your reflection in the mirror, because you want to deflect and you want to put it off on what's wrong, and this and that, instead of just looking at you. You may be the problem. The fact that you don't trust yourself and you're not confident in your abilities to do a certain thing or wear a certain thing, you're just like projecting onto the next person. And that comes with you not having that trust in yourself to walk in a room and not care what anybody thinks. That's part of the issue of why we really don't trust ourselves, because we spend so much time worrying about what other people think. Oh, what is so and so gonna say? And it can even be your parents, it can be your spouse. Like, you're worrying about, what are they gonna say? Are they gonna be okay? You're worrying about that instead of being confident in knowing, like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to make happen. I know I can make it happen despite what anybody says about me. And when you develop that trust in yourself, you gain all these other things that are so valuable in your life. More opportunities will start to come your way. It can open so many doors. People love a confident person. They love a person who trusts themselves to get something done, to get the job done, or they just love it. They love it. And especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're a service-based business, people want to feel like they can trust you. And if you don't trust in your own abilities, they're going to see right through it. They're going to know that what you say you bring to the table, you don't. That's why it's best to develop that trust within before you try to, like, implement something or work with other people, or, do anything people related, because people can see through you. And sometimes they see it right away, sometimes they see it later on, but eventually they're going to see it. And so it's imperative that you develop that trust with yourself. You dive deep within and really figure out, like, why is it that I don't trust myself? Like, what is going on with me? Do I feel like I can't do it? Is someone telling me I can't do it? Like, you have to really just take a moment to look at all the factors and look at why you don't trust yourself. And it could be because you experienced growing up your family members or your parents not trusting each other, always thinking that somebody was trying to, like, cross them over or not um do the right thing when it comes to them. And therefore it literally rolls over into your personal life as well, because those type of people, they're usually the way that they're trying to make other people seen, and it makes it difficult to cultivate relationships, to get opportunities when you're always on that negative side. You're always on that doubting side, because to me, when you doubt, you don't trust. When you doubt, you don't have faith. Like, all those things go hand in hand. um Building trust with yourself reduces anxiety. It helps with depression because you trust that you can get yourself out of that space. You trust that you won't be in this space for long. And like I said in the last episode, you have to get up and push forward. And if you don't trust yourself to do so, you're not going to. That's why you run into people. There's this girl, this younger girl, she's on TikTok. I don't know, maybe you guys know who she is, but anyway, she's a young girl. She was working for Disney at one point. Um and it's like, I didn't know, so like when you work for Disney, it's like a temporary type thing. So there comes times when they just come and they're like, "Hey, pack up your stuff. You're done. Your contract's up." Because I think it's like an independent contractor type thing. And so she had to move back home. She had met this guy or whatever, but she was always in this space of depression, like not really wanting to do much, not eating, all these things. And I just believe that it was because she wasn't confident in herself. Like, she lacked confidence. She lacked like the tenacity to speak up for herself. Let's say that. So these are the things she lacked, and she was so afraid of success. She was just afraid of success. She didn't trust herself to embody success. She didn't look at herself as a successful person. And so I think that that was just a lack of trust in herself. But it starts when you're younger. Like, if no one has ever built that trust in you, like telling you, like, you know how we tell kids, you can do it, you got it. Like, if nobody's ever told you that, that could be a reason why you really like struggle with it, because you've never had anyone encouraging you. You've never had anyone telling you, you got this, you can do this. Because I believe that you need that in order to gain that trust in yourself and develop that trust in yourself. Because in order to do anything, you have to just know that you can do it. It helps you manage your emotions better. When you trust that I got this, I can get this done, you won't be so emotional. I think when you're emotional, you're like, I'm not really sure I can do this. I don't know if I got this. Like, that's because you don't trust yourself. And you could have let yourself down before, but it's okay. You got to try again, and you have to prove to yourself that you can do whatever it is you're trying to do. Also, too, it builds character. Builds character. Those are the things that I wrote down. It builds character. Trusting yourself builds character. Like, oh my God. If you didn't get anything else from that, it just it plays a big role in your personality. It plays a big role in your personality. I love when people from my past like check in with me and they're like, "Oh, you're really still doing that. Oh, you actually did that." You know why? Because most people don't trust themselves to get it done, and they're not consistent. And so because they're not consistent, it transfers over. Like, people start to see like, "Oh, they were doing that. They're not even doing that no more." You know? And it's because you don't trust yourself to face the adversity. You don't trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. I talk to so many people who are trying to be entrepreneurs, or they're trying to pursue something specific, but they're already in doubt before they even start. And that's so concerning to me, because I'm just like, how are you going to be successful if you don't even from the beginning trust that you can do it? Oh, I'm not sure. I want to, but I got this going on, or last time. We gotta shake that. We gotta develop trust in ourselves, and we have to have faith, because faith and trust, they go hand in hand. Stop telling me you have faith when you don't trust that you can get something done, because God gonna help you do the rest. He's going to help you become who He's designed you to be. I'm excited about my future, because it took me a long time to get to this place. And some of you may be working up to this place, and that's totally fine. That is totally fine. But eventually, you got to jump, and you got to trust that you're going to be there to catch yourself. And some of you may not understand, but you will understand it as you keep going through life, and as you keep experiencing different things in life. Like, you're going to begin to understand why you had to do and go through some of the things you had to go through. I say grow through. Okay? Because you have to develop that trust in yourself. So, if you don't have a support system, and you don't have a cheerleading squad telling you, you got this, I'm telling you today, if you're listening to this podcast, that you got this, sis. You got this. You have it. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to get it done. Hold yourself accountable. Accountability is key. Make a checklist. Make a checklist. What should I be doing every day to make sure that I'm great? How do I get this confidence thing that people have that I want? What is that about? Get it. Get it, because all of the things that I mentioned in this episode are going to help you become the best version of you, fostering better relationships, getting better opportunities, having confidence. All those things you need in order to be successful on your journey. And it will, having all of those things literally changes you into a different person. I walk different. I talk different. If you see me next year, I want to be so different. Like, I should be elevating every year because I trust that I can do that. I trust in my abilities to elevate every single year. Trust yourself. Trust your gut. Don't worry about what people have to say because people are not paying your bills. People are not living your life for you. You have to make these choices. What choice are you going to make? Are you going to trust yourself or are you going to trust the negative that's coming in your ear? All the negative things that are happening, you're going to trust in that or are you going to trust yourself and continue to trust God to help you to become the best version of you? Okay? That's the end of the episode. It's a short but sweet episode. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for your support. I love you, love you, love you. Make sure that you're following me on IG, AYG _ allow yourself grace. Also, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys are following me on all podcasting platforms so that you're notified every time I drop an episode. I love you so much. I'll see you in the next episode. Well, guys, that concludes our episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. For additional information about today's episode, please click the link in the show notes below. To learn more about our Grace Girls community and other resources we have to offer, head over to www.allowyourselfgrace.com. Until next time, Grace Girls, I love you all, be blessed, and continue to strive for success.